Hey, gang. I gotta get ready here. Hold on. There we go. There's that. Here's the other broadcast. Um, uh, sorry, I'm doing too many things today, as usual. I mean, are you surprised? Seriously. 99.1 WDJY, America One Radio, WZQR, Radio X, 1400 and 1071, KSHP, the Mastiff Media Network. It's Yergz. You're going up the middle. Today is Wednesday, or if you're in Australia, it's real early Thursday. Time for translating Trump. I think Philip's going to join us. I haven't seen him yet, but he's usually in by now. And I think he was here last week before I went and screwed anything up. So I don't know why I wouldn't be hearing from him. Let's just make sure. So what kept me, I was watching the new deputy director of the FBI, and I'm still foggy with this camera. Sorry about this, gang. This is my other camera that, if you remember, a couple of weeks ago, there was a issue with that camera, and it turns out it wasn't the camera. So I could probably just go get that one and put that one back together. It was one of the broadcast cards, one of the video cards in the computer died. Let me see. Oh, he's sick. Okay, so Philip's not going to be here. He is congested and not sounding good as a result. So I got to do something else here. There we go. Okay. Good. Set. All right. So I was delayed this morning because as I was getting ready, one of the videos that popped up on YouTube was Dan Bongino testifying before something. It doesn't really say what it is, just you can tell that all of the congressmen that are questioning Dan Bongino and some other guy, mostly about the Butler, Pennsylvania assassination attempt on Trump. Because I mean, he gets crappy ratings right now. His approval ratings are in the tanked, and so we've got to develop the pity, and that's what they're doing. Danny Boy is throwing the Secret Service under the bus like only he can, and to include, by the way, the new director who I just talked up yesterday. Shocker. And there are still accusations, by the way, and I don't know. We'll look into it. You know that. There are accusations, by the way, that when I saw that he was trained for senior executive service certification, there are people that are denying that or doubting it at minimum. So we'll look into it. We'll see. We'll ask around and continue our own investigation as we should. But we've also got a request in to the Secret Service to speak with Director Corrin and hopefully also Anthony Guglielmi, their chief information officer. So, 2 hours of just me. Yay. So I'm just still organizing a bunch of different things. Let me take some off this and start that. There we go. I'm going to get used to using all the clocks properly. And in 10 minutes from now, it's going to be about quarter after, we're going to take a break. And I'm going to do commercials. And we're getting this, I'm on multiple stations now that are covering me the entire show all week. The concept like KSHP, and even WDJY are in right now, where they're only covering a part of it. And right now, WDJY is only missing 1 hour. That's on Friday. But once we go to 2 hours on Tuesday and Thursday, I don't know if they've got that open in their schedule. But any other station that comes on after this is only going to be all or nothing. And it's really, it's kind of where we're at. You want to get us all, or you don't. And if you don't, that's cool. Maybe we're not what you're looking for in your station. After I thought maybe we were. So now measles is killing people. Remember the Biden administration when this stuff wasn't happening? I mean, I don't know if it's a little early to say that or what, but I don't know. That wasn't an issue before. I'm trying to get one of the other platforms live. Chatter, I'm not on yet. I should be. News. Oh. News, politics. Oh, you hear that? That's the little puppy pretending she's got something down there. I should put like one of those gym shots of me instead of, I mean, everybody else does. I'm going to do Trump in a cartoon saying, "This is the worst day of my life," and Homer Simpson saying, "This is the worst day of your life so far." And the description today for that one is just downward spiral. Over to Chatter. Sorry, again, sorry for the disorganization here. But share screen. I like that these social audio are actually also social video, in that I can share my screen, and I got to plug the headphones into this. Or Nozil, welcome. That's just somebody. Oh, I lost him. Oh, there he is. All right, Nozil, welcome. You're also with about probably today about 45,000 other Americans and Australians and Brits and so on, because we're also on the radio show. Raise your hand or give me some sort of wave if you want to say anything during the course of it. That's why I invite somebody like you up on stage. Also, let me know how I sound. This is from the mic from my studio, not from anything on the phone or anything like that. So again, welcome, and thanks for joining us. Nozil's from the company that's actually making Chatter, and he checks into rooms like this on occasion. So very glad to have him, and very glad to be a part of it. Oh, okay. So, Ken, see you there. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Sorry for the slow start. But I get an email from this other source. It's about government stuff. Remember when I was telling you about Secret Service Director Sean Corran? And I was explaining to everyone the pay grade or the pay system, the pay scale used in the federal government. I was on what was called the GS pay scale. Stands for general scale. Real simple. Upper bosses throughout the government, not just Secret Service, but FBI, CIA, other agencies that aren't even law enforcement, members of the cabinet, etc., are on what's called Senior Executive Service, or SES. And if you remember, I said, you don't just get hired to an SES position like Bongino is, like Sean Curran is, like Kash Patel is, without at least, in a case of a legitimate, and I'll tell you why I'm using that word in a second, in the case of a legitimate political appointee, at least getting some sort of orientation. But as a career civil service employee, as usually is and historically has been, with some exceptions now, during my time with the service, someone from within the Secret Service, as has been the deputy director from within the FBI. I'm talking specifically about Bongino's spot. Secret Service, knock on wood, still is. Why is all that relevant? Because for the career civil servant to be SES, they have to check two boxes that are not done in 10 minutes. The first one is a career track. You have to have worked your way through the GS pay scale before you go to SES, because you're being promoted from within. Again, to quickly review, the GS scale goes from 1 to 15. A Secret Service agent will be hired at either 5 or 7, based on their prior experience. Perhaps possibly a 9 if they go to law school, if they actually have a law degree, or a relevant master's degree. HR, Health and Human Services, something in law enforcement, or management, something that's going to someday benefit the Secret Service or FBI or any other relevant agency. So you skip 6 and 8. So you go 5, 7, 9. You skip 10. You go to 11. Then you're at GS 12. And then you're at journeyman level at GS 13. I retired at GS 13. Dan Bongino left at GS 13. He didn't retire. He's not getting a Secret Service pension. That's gone. A GS 14 is a first-line supervisor. That's my boss. A GS 15 is his or her boss. Sean Curran, when you saw him on stage in Butler, was a GS 15 supervisor. I worked with Sean at the Washington field office. Okay. Time for a commercial. Okay. It's there. I worked with Sean at the Washington field office Um, well, he was a 14. I think that was his first, maybe second assignment as such. My last couple of years, it was like 2016 to 2018, before I left for LA, he was kind of a touch and go. He does a couple of years, he moved on to something else. But from what we read yesterday, he's at least had two positions at GS-15, which makes sense because the one that you see him in Butler, Pennsylvania, he's a special agent in charge of the Trump detail, of the former Trump protection detail. The United States is the only country in the world that protects their former heads of state and former heads of government, at least to the level that we do. Maybe a former will get it on a special occasion for foreign travel on behalf of the government as a diplomat, but we're the only ones that they're just sitting at home doing nothing. We're on the front porch. So Sean's got some experience, at least. And according to his Secret Service bio, he did complete the training. Stop. Oh, this puppy. He did complete the training for senior executive service to get that certification. We're looking into that. And I'm looking to even ask him. And I'm looking to even ask him. Dan Bongino does not have that. And now the White House press office is trying to, I don't know what they're trying to do, but they're trying to prove that he is not a political hack in one of the highest law enforcement positions in the country. The deputy director, the one deputy director of the FBI. I don't know. I'm just thinking off the top of my head here. If what he says about the FBI is true, that it needs to be gutted or rebuilt or done away with and start over with something else, whatever it is, shouldn't we put somebody in that position that knows what they're doing? I talk about that stuff all the time from an outsider perspective. And perhaps I've done research into it that still doesn't make me an expert for that level of law enforcement. Sorry, I'm not. It doesn't matter how much common sense I've got. It doesn't matter how much you may agree with something I say. That doesn't make me the person to do the job. I got to turn my phone off of vibrate, turn on to vibrate. That doesn't make me the one qualified to do the job. Yet, I don't know if he's still using. I don't watch him. I do sometimes if I want to laugh. I haven't in a while, and not since T-Rump has been in office. But to listen, I laughed. I mean, it was frustrating. And yeah, I got pissed off when I watched the poor excuse for a press secretary spew all kinds of lies yesterday from that podium. It was disgusting. It's not okay what this administration is doing. And when you see all the town halls that are getting loud in protest by, and what's his nuts, Blake last week was saying, I don't think they're all Republicans like they're plants. You mean like, I don't know, like Trump does? When he says, I have the biggest rallies, and you see coats on empty chairs spread out throughout an arena, because it turns out they're told to do that to make it look like there's a bunch of people that have to piss all of a sudden. When there's really nobody there. So now I'm hearing like all kinds of noise outside. I left my garage door open. It's right on the other side of that wall. That's right behind the camera. I've got two windows open over there. I've got a camera that's foggy. Oh, so to wrap this part up, and I still got to take that break. Really. We are coming. I'm right. Sorry if I got to sound arrogant like any of these right wing asshats, but I'm going to spend the next 2 hours, hour and 45 minutes, hour and whatever, hour and 35 minutes, telling you, showing you how I'm right. 3 points we're going to talk about today. 1, we are in a civil war. The United States is currently in a civil war. Now, we don't have uniforms in blue and gray. We're not charging through wheat fields. But this country is at war. That's 1. 2, we are in a world war. We are in World War III. When was the last time that you saw one country formally, not former, formally declare war on another country? But we have how many wars going on that we call them wars? Gaza, Hamas versus Israel, Ukraine versus defending themselves against the aggression of Russia. And to be clear, Israel defending themselves against 1, the aggression of Hamas, and 2, the constant tension between them and Hamas. And really, the constant tension between Ukraine and Russia. After all, Crimean Peninsula is Ukrainian, not Russian. And the ongoing tension that I think Israeli forces and intelligence really gained an upper hand on between Israel and Iran. Did you hear something there? For the first time in this conversation, I mentioned a country for the second time. That's Israel. Stand by. We got another one coming. In fact, 2 more. There's a long-standing allegiance between Iran, one of the countries I just mentioned, now for the second time, and Russia, another country we've talked about with regards to the war in Ukraine. Notice the background for those of you with video. That is the Ukrainian flag that fills the screen. You've known that. We've been using that. But I'm not finished. There's long-term tension between communist China and democratic China. I am recognizing Taiwan as Chinese culture. And maybe we want to identify them individually. Maybe they've earned that to be recognized as Taiwan. Great. With Chinese ancestry, predominantly, and clearly an interest by mainland communist China. You think there's no tension there? When China is doing war games around Australia, just out of Australian waters, technically in international waters, firing off all kinds of weapons. So now we've got one tension in China, who, by the way, communist China, also, like Iran, very tight relationships with Russia. Like other countries in the world, China is now in another kind of war called a trade war with the United States. We'll talk more about that as well. But they do these games in Australia. Who's friends with Australia? United States. Does this get sticky at all? Let's go back to the trade war. In addition to a military war potentially brewing, we already have the trade war with China. Thanks, Donald. Well done, dumbass. Give it one more reason to be pissed at us. But speaking of pissed at us, let's piss on our allergies, our allies. I'd love to piss on my allergies. Let's get our allies upset with us too. Because why not? Canada, Mexico, by now all of Western Europe, and whatever parts of Eastern Europe that have any level of democracy and or are part of the European Union, probably not thinking too fondly of us either. So now we've got Europe talking about literally going it alone. They're not trusting the Trump administration. Don't think that they are. Especially when all we've been talking about, I say we as the loudest minority in the country, that being maggots of the world, is nationalism. Let me know in the chat, and please, for purposes of testing your knowledge, I'm not going to call you a dummy if you don't know this. I'm just, asking to see if you're aware of this. I think I said it yesterday. I don't remember. I know it's in the white paper that I'm going to be releasing next month. But let me know in the chat if you know the origins of the word Nazi. Let me know. I'll be checking that out. Speaking of the chat, we'll get back to that as soon as we come back from this break. 99.1 WDJY, America One Radio, WZQR, Radio X, and K-Shop, the Mastiff Media Network. We'll be back after these words.
What are you doing later? I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to the gym, but not just any gym. Momentum Fitness and Wellness. Walk right up to the door. There's a QR code on the door. You can sign up right there. You've got no excuse. But not only that, their equipment is amazing. It's kept up well. It's expanded. There's stretching area. There's CrossFit. There's hardcore training. A dedicated area for stretching, dunk tanks, sauna, everything you need to get that Hernando beach body or keep your Clearwater beach body. You can train with your shirt off, you can scream, you can yell, and you won't be intimidated either. Go to Momentum Fitness and Wellness on US 19 in Bayonet Point, Jasmine Estates. Build the momentum.
Hey, gang. Sorry, this is an old. Yeah, there's still WZQR. It is hump day. At least they're playing one from Wednesday. But this is old. All right. Well, no sense listening to them today. Radio X. Let's see how they're doing down under. And meanwhile, I got to do a live spot too. So while that's queuing up, oh, here it comes. Oh, wow. It's only seconds off too. Oh, that's so cool. Nicely done down there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to reach out to them. Let's check in on K-Shop. I'm supposed to be playing background music during this. And I don't know why this is, but it takes so long to do up. There we go. DNR Studios. When you start reviews to play. We don't really talk sports, but I know there's a lot of sports happening right now, like the behind the scenes contract stuff. DNR Studios, we're starting there next month. Derek and Romaine, formerly from Sirius XM, satellite radio, now in their own network. Kind of like the gay version of Howard and Robin, even though they're both more co-hosts than they are a sidekick. Great show. They've got other shows there too. We will be their political show. Go to dnrstudios.com. DN as in Nancy, R as in Romaine, Derek, and Romaine Studios.com. Sign up today. Good subscription price. I mean, very easy subscription price, but also very much worth it. As a contributor to their network, we get it for free. And I'll tell you, I really enjoy listening to the other programming that's there. And we're happy and excited to be a part of it. Now, obviously, you can still get this show for free, but because it's elsewhere. But the other content and programming they've got there, plus their trips that they take, they just got back from a cruise that you're obviously welcome to go along on. You got to pay for it, but I mean, still, I see their photos. It's a good time. Check them out, dnrstudios.com. Into the comments. Sportcat saying that measles outbreaks have been happening for the past few years. I get DHS alerts as a medic frequently about health issues since we have an international airport, not Trump's fault. Yeah, no. We weren't hearing about this at the level that we're hearing about it now when vaccinations were a thing. Now we got this whole ignorant anti-vaxxer movement. You get autism from a vaccine. You get a dashboard to the face if you don't wear your seatbelt. It doesn't prevent you from getting in a car accident, but it prevents you from getting a dashboard to the face. You know, he's riding around on a motorcycle shirtless with your helmet off. That's the Trump administration, and that's why we're now seeing deaths that we didn't see prior to this. If we did, it would have been in the media much more than what I'm not even looking for it. I didn't even want to talk about that today. But there it is in our face from Fox. Before you even go there, did you hear the bell today? When that, I didn't restart it because obviously I was late. Let's see what time we're at now. I can restart that one for the next segment and the next commercial. And then we got 20 minutes for this hour is over. We might be losing America. Yeah, we lose America on radio. And I should check them out too because they've been slacking also. But yeah, I'm trying to get rid of the bell sounds and just, pay attention to the two bright clocks that are on my screen. Casey says, good morning. And yeah, the doggies. Yeah, Trump is in his size. That usually tells us a lot. He's very much in his size. I don't know why, because the only thing remotely sizable on him is his waist. And finally, well, you just said it. Ken's the winner. Yeah, my thoughts went into dashboard to the face also with the Looney Tunes type stuff. You can't show that type of violence on cartoons anymore. But yeah, Nazi, Nazi, comes from the German word that is a very large compound word that is nationalist socialist. Nazi. Because socialist, as you have it spelled on the screen, has a Z in it in German. And that's where Nazi comes from. It was originally a slur, but the party took control of it and used it to create their brand. Let's see if we're on America One Radio today. I'm not getting anything from them. Try to refresh. Nope. Okay, maybe it's me. Because now there's one station is playing old stuff. Another station isn't on at all. The hell is Yergz radio on? I'm getting static. There we go. Yeah. Yergz radio's on. So Oh, yeah, I don't know what's happening with America One Radio. This is like the third time this month. And to be fair to um, ZQR, we did address this from yesterday's, and I was supposed to resend them the stream. So, I mean, that delay can be in my lap. K Shop. I wish I didn't have to do this, but maybe if I had a producer, I don't know. K Shop's rolling. All right. So now America One Radio and ZQR. So Nazis. Yes, it comes from the compound word, the very large German compound word, nationalist, socialist. But here we are in the United States talking about things like Christian nationalism, like it's a good thing. What about Jewish nationalism or Hindu nationalism? Islamic nationalism. Wow. Oh, we don't like that one, do we? But they're all faiths with a sound grip on American culture. What about them? Is it because they don't look like us? Sound like us? To crack some inappropriate German joke or German Jewish joke, have a nose like us? But there's some reason why we don't say anything but Christian nationalism. Why is that? If we're not a racist, phobic, we'll just say phobic, multi-phobic society. That's what T-Rump is creating. Because remember when Elon Musk went on stage the day of the inauguration and did that salute? It wasn't a Nazi salute, it was a Roman salute. Meanwhile, that is the Nazi salute. And he just talks to all kinds of political organizations. Where did he go right after the inauguration? To the far right Nazi party in Germany. A party that's not even legal. He is not here for you. Dan Bongino is not here for you. I can promise you, Dan Bongino is not here for you. I know the guy. And I don't say that with any level of pride. To quote, to use their own quotes against them, quote, the famous KKK leader, Daniel Carver, made famous from the Howard Stern show. Wake up, white people. They don't like you. They like talking about how bad everything is so they can be the one that fixes it. I'm telling you, it's not that bad. I'm telling you, Sean Curran is going to do a fine job at the Secret Service. Patel, DeBangino, I hope they do. And as a Christian myself, I pray that they do. Not for them. I don't care about them. I don't care about Sean Curran. Sean Curran's a big boy. He didn't need my help. I care about my brothers and sisters at the FBI, at the Secret Service, and their law enforcement partners globally, as well as those in the intelligence community that we also work with, liaise with, partner with, whichever. And I was telling you earlier about the pay scale system again, because I know we talked about it before. And I got to look up the email. Maybe I'll do that in the second hour. But Trump wants to take over 1,000 SES positions. It's about 1,400, I think. SES positions. And I'll look it up. I'm pulling it up as I talk. You all know how great I am at, what's that called? Multitasking. And turn them into political appointments. We're not talking about cabinet level positions that are political appointments. We're talking about bosses that need that experience we talked about with Sean Curran, that he, at least on some level, has. And to be clear, the directorship of the Secret Service is an appointment. It's a presidential appointment. But when you take away the experience, like he's doing throughout the government, like the Secret Service has already done, that's a story I'm working on, have been working on. And this is pre Sean Curran, so maybe he'll fix it. But the Secret Service went and fired a bunch of senior people that were contract people. They're former agents, they're retired, they're collecting a pension, and now they're collecting another paycheck as a retired Secret Service agent, doing the same job they used to do, just now on different terms. And these people were fired because they hit an age limit, which they did. They did hit that age limit. But the Secret Service is still bitching about bodies, that they're understaffed. So much so, they talk about waste and abuse. They're paying $40,000 as a signing bonus to any applicant that can complete the hiring process, complete training, and be a full blast, out you go, Secret Service agent. That's about 2/3 of your first year's salary, the base. Right out of the pocket, right out of the gate. Now, that person doesn't have any experience yet, but you're firing the people who do, who you would be paying that same amount. When you consider what you're paying in that first year, their base salary, plus something called LEAP. I'll tell you what that is in a second. Plus this $40,000. Add that up, and you got a GS-13 salary. LEAP stands for Law Enforcement Availability Pay. We get paid overtime with our paycheck automatically. 20% of our base pay gets added on right on the top. Why? Because like that Hillary Clinton commercial, when the phone rings at 3 o'clock in the morning, we answer it. In fact, when our phone rings at any time of day, we answer it. Because it's another agent telling us something's going on, we got to do this, that, or the other thing. Or it's a boss saying, you need to do this, that, or the other thing. There is no, I'm drunk. We answer, we go. And they average at about, instead of a 40-hour work week, we'll work a 50-hour work week. And that's 25%. Time for a commercial. So, yeah, that's added. So if I'm making $80,000, 25% added on top is now $100,000. I made that as probably a GS 11 or 12. And then there's scheduled overtime on top of it, meaning that they know you're going to have a long day. Protection, sometimes investigations. But that's got to come from headquarters. You can't just do that. Then you're going to get paid even more money in addition to your base and the leap. So anyway, let me take another break. I got to do these. Got to get into the habit. Got to make it happen. You're listening to the Mastiff Media Network. When we come back, we got more Danny Boy. We'll be right back.
What are you doing later? I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to the gym, but not just any gym. Momentum Fitness and Wellness. Walk right up to the door. There's a QR code on the door. You can sign up right there. You've got no excuse. But not only that, their equipment is amazing. It's kept up well. It's expanded. There's stretching area. There's CrossFit. There's hardcore training. A dedicated area for stretching, dunk tanks, sauna, everything you need to get that Hernando beach body or keep your Clearwater beach body. You can train with your shirt off, you can scream, you can yell, and you won't be intimidated either. Go to Momentum Fitness and Wellness on US 19 in Bayonet Point, Jasmine Estates. Build the momentum.
Oh, I found one of my emails, but I'll close it out. We got to go to Rumble. That's right. I'm not only on YouTube and whatever else, but coming at you with an attempt. I mean, right now, Republicans are kind of stepping on their crank a lot, but we are also on Rumble. Go to rumble.com/register/Yergz Media, YERGZ Media. That's what we were before Mastiff Media. Rumble.com/Yergz/register/Yergz Media. To get your Rumble account, if you're a content creator and you want to be fair and balanced as well, pay that subscription, get those benefits, reach the right of the political spectrum, be actually fair and balanced, and join Rumble today. We are on there. We did that. Matt did that test for us last week. We're not on the actual up the middle channel though. I should probably just get rid of it and just stay on the, or get rid of the Yergz Media and stay on the Rumble. You know, if I said something else, I'll be on separate on that channel. And people that don't want that won't get it. But yes, I'm happy with Rumble. You know, I don't feel like I'm being censored. I'm probably not being passed around as far as like the algorithm, but you know, to be fair, I'm really not pushing it as much. I could be doing better. I could be doing better on a lot of my sort, but it's just me. I'm a lean, mean fighting machine. I'm also just me. So there's that. Rumble.com/register/Yergz Media. Sign up today. And yes, in case anybody's wondering, I do get compensated for that one. I do not get compensated for DNR Studios. My compensation for formerly Monster Mouth Fitness, now Momentum Fitness and Wellness, is my gym membership. They're an affiliate, not a sponsor. All the others are affiliates or just something that I am promoting because of my fondness for that product or service. Remember, speaking of a product or service, thanks, Ken, for reminding me. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. We are, I got to find the link for it. There's a content management or a customer relations, what's it called? A CRM? Yeah, customer relations management that I'm with on Build a Space. And it's a link where I give you the link and you give me all your information. I can put it into a website. I can put it into wherever. And one of the things I'm going to be starting to collect for those that are interested is your phone number. So I can send out a mass text. Hey, we're going live. Here's what we're talking about today. And not only can you get the reminder that, hey, we're going live, tune in. But if you're really not interested, okay, well, now you know not to tune in. Kind of a bad thing. But also more of the reminder to tune in. So that's coming. And thanks for that, Ken. Remember, like, share, subscribe. I'm going to star that one so I can put it up there later. All right, so let's see, which am I going to be losing? Well, I would be losing America One Radio and maybe ZQR if they had the right, but I am losing also K-Shop. So let me tell you where everybody's at and where they're going to be and so on. Go to mysrca.com. If you live in Western Pasco County, I mean anywhere in the Tampa Bay Nature Coast region, but you'd be best if you lived in the Western Pasco, Southwestern Hernando, Northwestern Pinellas counties. For $20 a month, it's worth it. Or excuse me, $20 a year. $20 a year, it's worth it. Go to Sea Ranch Civic Association's website at mysrca.com. Sign up today. Definitely worth it. I love the social things that they do and taking part in it a couple times a month. 202-224-3121. That's the number for the Capitol Switchboard. Definitely give your senator, your congressman or woman a call. Let them know that he's going too far. That you're not opposed to efficiency and proper use of your tax dollars, but you're opposed to conflicts of interest, which is all the current Doge is. You're opposed to redundant waste, like forming Doge, when we actually already had an agency doing that. They were just handcuffed. So 202-224-3121. Give them a call. And for the next hour, you can still call us, 844-GAY-LGBT, or 1-888-88 Yergz. We'll put that on the ticker at the bottom. Don't forget about DNR Studios. Give them a shot. Sign up. Test them out. I think it's like $10 a month, something like that. Derek N. Romaine Studios.com. My Monday host, Jane Stahl, is available at Studio BBB. Oh, sorry. Coffee's working its way back up. Studio BBB. That's the art studio that she manages in our hometown. StudioBBB.org. Go to StudioBBB.org if you want to contact her or see any of the events happening at Studio B. Also, you can reach her at the Boyertown Area Expression. Oh, I got to do that. I got to do that essay for Boyertown Area Expression.town.news. That is our hometown digital newspaper. Philip, who's out today, can be reached at Philip Blackett, 1L, 2 T's. Philip Blackett for any of his social medias, anywhere you want to be. Matt will be back on Friday. He's the host of Daily Crypto News. You can learn more about that at dailycryptonews.net. And you can reach him, Matt, at dailycryptonews.net or info@deemerforcongress.com. Blake and I got into it last Friday. We still need to talk offline and sort that out. But I mean, how long have I been saying share the mic? He's the host of The Homeless Conservative. He finally has a video out saying that pretty much everybody is against Donald Trump. And now, finally, for just cause. Check that out at thehomelessconservative.com. You can email him by hitting up Blake at thehomelessconservative.com. What's next? There it is. You can hit us all up. News, NEWZ, at Yergz, YERGZ, And for show notes and more information, go to yergz.com or massive.media. And I need to add one here. It's on my show notes. But that is not what I wanted to do. Where am I at? Here. There we go. Sportcat, if you're still watching, give me like the YouTube handle or something. Whatever link you would want me to put in for the daily crypto, or excuse me, for Sportcat's Daily Gazette. I'll put a bottom third for you as well. Just put that in for now so that it's I'll move that down to all the others so it's all together. Actually, I'm going to put it last because that's when I do it in the next hour. That's what's coming next. So that's what we got there at whatever. I don't know what it is yet. He's got to tell me. Sportcat's Daily Gazette. That's up at 1 o'clock Eastern. Let's see what time we've done. 10. Yeah. 10 Pacific. Let's see. 2 a.m. Oh, I got it right here. This thing's awesome. I got this World Watch clock thing. So here at 1 o'clock, it would be 5 a.m. in Melbourne, 2 a.m. in Perth, 5 a.m. Sydney, 1900 hours in Berlin, 6 p.m. in London, 1 p.m. right here, 10 a.m. Las Vegas and the West Coast. That's Sportcat's Daily Gazette, Monday through Friday, right after Up the Middle. I'll message him. Where's he at there? Send me a YouTube handle or other link for Gazette. I don't know what that is. Putting on screen. All right, into hour number 2. It's 12:03. I think we lost something, probably K-Shop by now. Because I don't think they have... No, in fact, I know they don't have both hours yet. They're just Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, first hour. And I think America One Radio, if they were working in the first place, you know what? Let's tune in now. See if it's them or if it is just me. God, I hope it is actually them. I mean, that's kind of a asinine thing to say, but I hope it's not my feed that's screwing this up. America One Radio. So today, I was going to ask Philip. I'm not getting anything there either. No, man, that's too bad too. I mean, he's been working on a bunch of things. This might be an opportunity. Glenn, if you're listening. Clearly they're not. All right, I'll message them later. Yeah, their site's down. And they've been doing some various upgrades that are clearly not working out. That's too bad. I'm about filling gaps as an entrepreneur. And I think we can take the ad ... down. Sportcat, let me know what you want in there. Or, oh, there it is. Okay. Now I got to pull up my messages so I can cut and paste. And there we go. Copy link and paste. So that ain't going to work. Do you not have... Oh, maybe if I went to your channel. There we go. He does that on the @Para or Normal Guys channel. He just sent me something on the measles too. He's hell bent on defending Trump today. There we go. You can get the Sportcats Daily Gazette at Para or Normal Guys. That's on YouTube. I should add that too, I think. Come here and say. There we go. YouTube at Para or Normal Guys. I'm going to make this so that you can actually read the... I do this when I have like multiple words as part of a domain name or handle. I capitalize each word so you can see it better. Kind of spaces it out for you. Helps your eye look at it all. Para or Normal Guys, like that. And of course, you can leave it in all lowercase. But, okay. So what I was going to do today is, with all these examples that exist, and there's the question with the phone numbers, with all these examples that exist, do we have a Nazi government? David Beckmeyer sent me one link. I got to see if I can, if it's on, I forget if it was on, if it was here on Messenger. Or if it was on Instagram. He sent me Dan Bongino gets named. Here it is. This is key. I'll play this and we'll start the discussion with this. Phil, Ken, let me know if you can hear this. I don't know if I can hear it.
Talking about it. The Polity Project, one of...
Okay. May have to just let that play out and redo it while I set it up for screen sharing. I'm still just trying to get to the end of this.
This is one of the biggest shifts in modern American history.
I'll just let that... So what he's talking about is
Are we witnessing democracy in decline? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
The um, viable information. I want to make him a little bit bigger here. So if I take that off, yeah, I was going to say it's about big as it's going to get. All right. So this is David Beckmeyer, host of Outrage Overload, available on Yergz Radio and at outrageoverload.net.
Major has happened, and almost no one's talking about it.
Here you go.
The Polity Project, one of the most trusted democracy trackers.
The policy, the policy project. Polity, sorry. It is, like I said, it's an independent think tank that monitors democracy and democratic governments throughout the world.
It's no longer considered a democracy. Let that sink in. This isn't just some random opinion. The Polity Project uses a 21-point scale to measure democracy from -10, full autocracy, to +10, full democracy. The U.S. points, pushing it toward autocracy. The Supreme Court ruling last year, granting presidential immunity, what they call a presidential coup, January 20, 2025, and an adverse regime change. This is one of the biggest shifts in modern American history. Why does this matter? The U.S. has been a democracy for over 200 years. If that changes, the global impact could be. Some critics question the Polity Project's past CIA ties, but it's still one of the democracy indexes out there. So is this a wake-up call we've all been ignoring? What do you think? Are we witnessing democracy in decline? Drop your thoughts in.
This was a Facebook reel. But like I said, to outrageoverload.net. And that and plenty of other videos, audio only podcasts, whatever you're looking for. Yeah, I think he does a blog too. I think he's got a link to Substack. So whatever your platform, he's not a podcaster. David Beckmeyer is a retired tech boss turned, I really want to say, social scientist. Not only what he's doing with Outrage Overload, but how he's going about doing it and the self-criticism that he gives himself. He just trashed a bunch of interviews that just weren't really giving an answer. It's a lot of people getting up on a soapbox, and when you're advocating to be against that, like what I'm doing right now, when you're advocating to be against that, then you can't be, putting things towards it. That being said, I still do believe that he's about as impartial as you're going to get, or you're going to say, even more so than me. I try to be, but like I said, the Republican Party, the MAGAs, are the ones that keep stepping on their dick. How am I going to? And I had something, I forget where it is and what it was, but good. Yeah, the libtards screwing up. I can talk about this too. Really? I mean, if that's what I got to do to appear more balanced, I'd rather you just call me left. Because left right now is the only right frame of mind. And it's not. But I mean, what's happening now, you're talking about more than 1,000 Oh, I wanted to pull up that email. You're talking about more than 1,000 SE. I mean, we're talking about 160,000 or better a year. Like Dan Bongino. That's not some nobody like Kash Patel or Pete Hegseth or Sean, not Curran, the transportation secretary. What was he? A reality TV star? I mean, come on. Oh, look at this. He's we got a email back from Scott Browning from Radio X. Yeah, I mean, I Glenn, if you're still listening, I hope you take advantage of this sooner rather than later. I know you're trying to wrench on things. You know, there it's the middle of the night. I think they'll be. Ken saying, "Yep, I can hear it. Now I can't hear it. Yep, I can hear it. Was that just me pausing, or was that something else? If you were just listening to the Yergz radio feed or me or whatever, I think that was me pausing, or if that was, David, that was me pausing that too, because I wanted to go to the end, and I wanted to. There's no restart on this. You just let it play out, and then that's it. Or you got to play it and then replay so you can hear what you missed. But what do you guys think? Trump is, and let me find that today. Yeah, here it is. View. Open a new window. Drag it over here. Got to try to make sure that there's nothing with my address on it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. It's going to be over that. Damn it. Okay. So here is the email that I was telling you about. We'll look at that. This is from government executive newsletter called GovExec Alert. Trump to convert some top career roles to political appointments and evaluate execs on adherence to president's agenda. Now, with that, I want you to tell me how we're not in a fascist or total authoritarian government. There it is. There it is. I'll take the link. Trump to convert some top career roles to political appointments and evaluate execs on adherence to president's agenda. There we are, gang. There we are. We are authoritarian. These are positions in various agencies that are based on the experience, education, and lifestyle. When you're in law enforcement, it's a certain type of life that you lead. Not just anybody can do that. That's built up over time. Like I said, those two boxes that are checked are career and education. So during the career, you develop experience. That's part of an education, frankly. But then to be SES, like we said before with regards to Sean, you actually go get essentially a master's degree. These people that just come off the street won't have either. And you're still going to pay them $160,000 to start with no experience, no education, no training, no connections, none of that. And we're talking about the Department of Government Efficiency. That is efficient? When clearly, let's go through the article by Eric Katz, senior correspondent for Government Executive. The Trump administration is reshaping the top ranks of federal agencies by making more employees politically appointed and ensuring those who remain in career roles are evaluated based on how well they implement the president's agenda. The Office of Personnel Management on Monday called on all agencies to redesignate some of their senior executive service employees as political appointees, rather than reserving them for career staff. On Tuesday, it announced a new performance appraisal system for career executives, which will now give the most significant weight to how well the top-level supervisors carry out the president's policies. Yeah. That's how you're evaluated. How well do you kiss the president's ass? Nearly 9,000 SES, that's Senior Executive Service. Nearly 9,000 SES employees are the top ranks of the civil service and serve as liaisons between political staff and the rest of the career workforce. On his first day in office, President Trump signed a memorandum that gave political appointees a bigger role in overseeing and evaluating career executives. It also previously converted all chief information officer roles to open them up to political appointments. OPM acting director is not the director, he's the acting director. And guess who he's acting for? OPM acting director Charles Ezell directed agencies to develop new lists of SES staff, one that designate the roles that will remain career reserved, and one that proposes to change the staff to a general position that can be filled by political appointees. Those lists are due to OPM by March 24th. Ezell said some SES positions, wow, a lot more than I remembered. Look at this. Ezell said these are the ones that must remain. Said some SES positions, 3,571 of them, must be career reserved by law. Others are otherwise well suited to retain that designation, he added, though many should be changed. OPM believes that many of the current career reserved positions across the federal government are not the sort of technical positions appropriate for career reserve status. OPM believes that because Donald Trump tells them to believe that. SES positions with policy in their titles, or who serve at the Deputy Assistant Secretary level and above, should be converted to general designations open to political appointees. According to OPM's guidance, Zell also directed agencies to convert any position that was not career reserved, but has since been designated as such on the day before President Biden took office. So they're going back to or rather to pre-Biden, which is Trump. And they're just kind of trying to eliminate everything Biden's done to put actual experts in that chair. I know they're saying that's not the case, but look at what they've done to Secretary of Defense when the predecessor was a 4-star general that not only commanded troops in his branch, but other branches of the U.S. military and other militaries. Petey Boy has got none of that. While agency leadership can and frequently do leverage career staff in such situations, they should have maximum flexibility in opting for non-career officials to carry out presidential priorities. The acting OPM director said. That's not me saying that. Marcus Hill, president of the Senior Executives Association, said his group supports efforts to strengthen accountability within SES, and its members would work with the Trump administration. The new guidance suggests, however, that, quote, career federal executives cannot be trusted to fulfill their responsibilities related to assisting incoming administrations with effectively implementing their agendas. This simply is not true, and I agree. Historically, the vast majority of SES and other federal executives have honorably and faithfully served bipartisan presidential administrations. He added the guidance was inconsistent with federal statutes governing the SES, as it would ensure any policy-related position can only be filled by the administration's political cronies. That's what we're working towards, not efficiency. This has nothing to do with efficiency. Nothing. The new performance appraisal system for top career officials will, quote, ensure that senior executives are responsible to the needs, policies, and goals of the nation and otherwise is of the highest quality, according to Zell. The performance reviews will create a forced curve system in which, at agencies with the least 5 senior executives, only 30% can receive ratings of 4 or 5 out of 5. This again. This bell curve. How do you say, if I pick the top, what are we saying here? Well, any number, 10 executives, and only 3 of those 10 can receive a score of 4 out of 5 on a 1 to 5 scale. What happens when everybody I pick has legitimately met that criteria of 5 out of 5? I've got 10 of the best employees possible. You're going to take away? You're going to make some arbitrary decision on who doesn't get 5 out of 5, let alone 4 out of 5? And make them a 3? How do you lose 2 points by not doing anything? Presuming they're still doing what they're supposed to be doing. And that's the point. Somebody who scores a 5 out of 5 is going to be doing something that they're supposed to be doing to get that 5. Time management is obviously going to be one of the scores when you're not letting anybody work from home anymore, where they actually got work done. I was never a fan of the bell curve. I know that when you take a pool of people, just a pool, you're going to have a higher percentage here. Most everybody's going to be average in the middle, and then there's going to be that part that fails. But when you take from that pool and make them SES, it's already the best. I hope the next year and a half goes super fast. Because when the Democrats and independents just sweep in the midterm, I hope they get enough that is not just a majority like the Republicans are screwing around with now and not doing anything. But I hope it's enough to get the necessary 2/3 of the Congress to easily overrule this douchebag's vetoes. And they can get control of this government and make it actually efficient and get rid of felon Musk. Establishing government-wide limits on rating levels will promote a high-performance culture. No, it won't. It'll promote backstabbing and ass-kissing. You think Elon Musk really cares about performance when he's got 19-year-old boys working for him? Only truly exceptional performers will receive the highest ratings, and poor performers will receive ratings commensurate with their performance. The new guidance also places new responsibilities as part of the performance evaluation system, including whether the senior executives faithfully administered the law and the president's policies. What happens when the law and president's policies don't jive, as is the case? I'm just going to say that's what's happening. He's firing people illegally. He's withholding money illegally. He's blatantly eliminating the Constitution, birthright citizenship. Oh, I mean, Senior Executives Hill said career senior executives were consistent with the oath each of them took to support the Constitution. Not the president, the Constitution. The administration's SES actions do not reflect plans to balance executive responsiveness with executive quality. Meaning that the needs of somebody in an SES position need to be reflected by the people put in there by the administration, something he's already lost touch with. Pete Hegseth, done, gone. Pete Hegseth is not qualified to be the Secretary of Defense. The end. SEA remains ready to offer its perspective and experience to Trump administration officials to make effective changes to achieve a modernized, merit-based civil service system which best serves the American people. Best serves the American people, not Donald Trump. I wonder what those signals are. If that's something for government executive but there's emails. I'll email all three of these guys and say, hey, let's work together. Oh, painful. And I'm really, we're going to get back to some comments now too. I got to take a break. That's late. Take one more break and then we'll come back. We'll get up some comments. And wrap up for today. 99.1 WDJY and the rest of the Mastiff Media Network. You're going up the middle. I'm Yergz. We'll be back after this.
What are you doing later? I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to the gym, but not just any gym. Momentum Fitness and Wellness. Walk right up to the door. There's a QR code on the door. You can sign up right there. You've got no excuse. But not only that, their equipment is amazing. It's kept up well. It's expanded. There's stretching area. There's CrossFit. There's hardcore training, a dedicated area for stretching, dunk tanks, sauna, everything you need to get that Hernando beach body or keep your Clearwater beach body. You can train with your shirt off, you can scream, you can yell, and you won't be intimidated either. Go to Momentum Fitness and Wellness on US 19 in Bayonet Point, Jasmine Estates. Build the momentum.
I left the music in the background playing, so I just have to pot it back up. Brings it up automatic, or brings it up gradually. Nice, right? Yeah, I'm learning. Frontier Internet. I'm telling you, I had Spectrum out in LA where it was decent. What I didn't know is what I didn't know. Against my neighbor's wishes, and this guy was like a network engineer. This is what he did, put this stuff together. Against his recommendations, I went with Spectrum when I got here to Tampa, when I could have gone with Frontier. Problem after problem after problem with Spectrum. I will, if I lose Frontier Internet at my house here in home studio, you will get this program with smoke signals before I go back to Spectrum. Frontier, on the other hand, I went from 5,000 to 1,000 gigs up and down. That's the maximum. You're not necessarily going to get that. But now I've upgraded to the 2,000 gigs up and down. And I'm scoring in like 950, which isn't even 1,000, but again, you'll get a maximum of 2,000. You know what they're doing? They're going to come out and they're going to see what they can do, because they see what I do for a living and what I'm trying to develop. They're going to come try and see what they can do for, as part of my 2,000, my 2K. They're going to see if they can fix it and make it better. Spectrum would never do that. In fact, my account has gone to collections. There's a collection agency that's bugging me about paying this off. And I'm not going to pay the whole thing off. I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing it. They lost their equipment. Spectrum, not Frontier. They lost their equipment. They didn't provide what they said they would. I never had phone. I had the bundle. I bundled it. With Spectrum, I never had the phone, ever, at all. I now have a phone, a landline phone for emergencies, in case cell phones go down. I never had the phone with Spectrum. Only had the TV for part of it. And then they couldn't get that to work. And the internet kept cutting out. So then I switched to Frontier. With the exception of this bad camera that isn't set up properly, I'll fix that later. My internet is clear as a bell. No more filtering, no more, buffering. When there's like a delay, there's no more lag. At least not with me. Sometimes Blake does. The other day, Sportcat had to fight some lag with his broadcast. But not here. Why? Frontier. Conquer the frontier. I just made that up. Good, huh? Conquer the frontier with Frontier Internet. I'll put my thing back up there. Go to my Facebook page. For those of you interested, you should see it on the screen there. Ross Yergz, Yerger, Don't go to my profile, go to my page, Ross Yergz on Facebook. One of the first posts that's pinned to the top of the profile is this list of affiliates. The link is crazy. I'm not going to try to read that. You'll never get it right. So just go to Facebook, go to my page, Ross Yergz, find that pinned post at the top. You click on it, take it from there. All right. So, Nazis comes from that big German compound word. And yet here we are talking about nationalism like it's a good thing. And nationalism can be a good thing. There's no reason not to be proud to be an American. That is not what I'm saying. I'm not this whole this right-winged anti-left thing where conservatives are let their boys be boys and teach them how to be men, and so does everybody else. We just teach them how to be real men and to realize they're not the only thing going. And sometimes real men do cry. That's okay. It's normal. Unlike you idiots, it's normal. And what else? What is it that the right teaches? That there's only boys and girls. Meanwhile, literally every other society in history has acknowledged a minimum of 3, some as many as 7 different sexes and genders. But you know everything, Marjorie Taylor Greene. We should just follow you. Because you, as a politician, you do videos on how fat your ass is. I don't understand why men are heterosexual. I seriously don't. Well, I guess when you see some of the guys out there, it kind of explains it. Anyway. We are now, David showed, the downward trend. I think one of the things the Polity Project needs to look at is also January 6th. We don't need a jury to label him guilty of doing what we all saw him do. It's an opinion. The Polity's evaluation. It's an opinion based on their knowledge, based on their training, based on their standards. So call him what he is. A fascist wannabe dictator. What General Milley told you he wanted to be. What 40 out of 44 of his prior cabinet members told you he wanted to be. What other real Republicans told you he wanted to be. Who lost their careers and well-being because they had courage to stand up to him. See what's happening in the comments. I'm just reading into some stuff that's not necessary right now. Chaotic companies don't work well. People doing leave jobs, they leave. Oh, people don't leave jobs. Yes, 100%. People don't leave jobs. They leave bosses. 100%. I would have stayed in the Secret Service longer. I could have. Why? The bosses there weren't using me to my capability. You're going to pay me $70,000 plus to not come to work? And I don't have to deal with this asshat? Trump and company? Bye. Ken also says, can we call Pete Hegseth hiring what it really is? He's a DEI hire. Exactly. I have that. I put that up. Maybe if I found my own Facebook page, I think is where I put it. That's my page on that one. There's a video, there's a video, there's a video. Okay, there's not on that one. Let me see if it's on my profile. It's easy to find my profile. It's just Ross Yergz, but that's not the one that I use for this. Why does this stuff? Yeah, get rid of that. Monster Mouse / Momentum Fitness and Wellness. It's Friday's show. This Friday. I got to talk about that too. Podcast. Why do they keep? I don't. There's a short I did. I love that. You're not even looking at this. Hold on a second. There we go. But what I'm looking for is the last Wednesday show. Here's the one post that I did. The irony of Trump saying the air traffic controllers or pilots were not qualified to do their jobs, as he places drunks, lunatics, and anyone who licks his boots in charge of critical agencies is stunning. Yeah. I did another one, though, where I actually put together. This is awesome. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs on a great game and a fantastic comeback under immense pressure. They lost. You represented the great state of Kansas. And in fact, the entire USA so very well. Our country is proud of you. For those of you that don't know, and I'm sure there's plenty, Kansas City is in Missouri. I know I pronounced that wrong, but Missouri. I think we're going back too far. I don't think it's Elon Musk stuttering. There's there's the long hair versus the view of what it would look like short. It was overwhelmingly short for the decision, but or for the poll, but I'm leaving it long. That was back. Yeah, it's not on. It's not here. Need a link. I wonder if he's trying to get in. I don't know why that. Oh, he should save this one, I guess. Okay. Hope nobody's going to copy that. Get all you knuckleheads. So what I'm looking for, it's not there. There's a rocket going up. Yeah, it's on my phone. I know that. There's a DEI hire, to Ken's comment meme that I created. And I thought it was, well, actually, I think I created it on Canva. So it should probably be there. Let me look there. Wonder how many people I missed out on. There we go. Gay Cowboy, Mr. Miles DJ, Sheree, New York. No, don't know her. That I know him. JC. Oh, they're at yeah. I'll reply to these guys today. But Canva, let's see this. You know, I did a thing on DEI hires. Oop, what did I do? There we go. So I finally did. There's King Yergz. Remember this? There we go. Merit. The Pete Hegseth headshot. On the far right, I don't know what's wrong with Kash Patel in that photo, but he's on something. And then the center is the secretary treasurer. I forget what his name is. It's Sean something. I don't want to keep using Sean because I don't want you confusing that with Sean Curran from Secret Service. But yeah, that's what I had posted somewhere. I thought it was on Facebook, but maybe not. But yeah, we're back to hiring on merit, ladies and gentlemen. Except for these three. We should probably add Danny Boy to that. And really the rest of his cabinet. I mean, the two, I've said this before, the two that I think are remotely qualified for that position, for their positions are, what's his nuts? Marco Rubio. And whatever his name is, I don't remember, but the guy who is now the director of the CIA, we talked about this earlier this week too, is the former, as in from Trump 1.0, the former director of national intelligence. Now, here is another amazingly stupid post filled by T-Rump. The director of national intelligence, on the scheme of things within the intelligence community, leads the intelligence community. Who did he put there? But somebody who's in bed with Syria, or at least has not been able to prove that she's not after having been legitimately accused of being so. And who did he take away from that position and put in a lower position as the director of the CIA? The former guy who is the DNI. I mean, you can't make this up. Yeah, let's see what's happening next. Coming up at, I need to use my clock thing. That I love that thing. That is so cool. It's such a big help. Coming up at 5 a.m. in Sydney and Melbourne, 2 a.m. in Perth, 1900 in Berlin, 6 p.m. London, 1 p.m. here in Tampa, and 10 a.m. in Vegas on the West Coast. Sportcats Daily Gazette. I think you can put that up too. Yep. You can find that on YouTube by going to @para or normal guys with a Z. Or if you're looking for something audio only, go to yergzradio.com. Let's see what's happening today. Bring out Sportcat.
What's up?
What's going on?
Not much, my friend. How are you? Whoa, I'm dizzy.
Yeah. I figured I'd put you over top of your bottom third there.
Oh,
abbreviated YouTube. I think everybody knows what YouTube is.
Yeah, I think they can figure that out.
I think like IG is the usual for Instagram.
Yeah.
Or just Insta or Snap. So what's happening in the world of the Gazette today? Anything you
Oh,
want
we're
to
gonna
heads
we're
up
gonna
there?
have the daily FEMA brief. We're gonna talk about your measles outbreak. That's not in the
Yeah,
United
look it up.
States.
I'll let that be part of your
Yeah,
thunder.
the average
The back
age
room.
to incubate it is over 30 days, and that's just getting the rash, not dying. Average age of death 6 years of age. So obviously not in this administration.
Yeah. Well, no, wait. You're saying it takes 6 years to die for
No,
measles?
average age of death is 6 years. Average age of incubation from the time of exposure
Yeah.
is to get the rash right at 30 days. So it couldn't have happened on his timeline.
So you're saying this rash started during this rash of measles outbreak. This outbreak started during the Biden administration.
It's been ongoing. It's not just been him, it's worldwide. We're an international world. So yeah, it's not the administration's fault, no, because there's
My
other countries
thinking,
that come into our world, into our
right?
bubble.
But if why are we only hearing about it now? If the borders were not secure, and if this has been an ongoing thing, why has it not been a problem until we hit the Trump
Slow
administration?
news day? I can't answer that question. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that question.
Well, at least you didn't come back with, well, it's the liberal media hiding it for Biden.
No, it's been going on. It was before Biden, probably before Trump. I don't know. I've been here since 2001 getting alerts from DHS. So
For the measles.
for all kinds of disease, there's diseases you don't even hear about that make it into the United States.
Oh yeah, I've been tested. I've been tested for stuff that people don't hear about.
Hopefully you haven't ate any bat brains lately. So I hear that one's pretty bad.
Yeah, not that. I don't know.
I like them scrambled with eggs and grits, you know.
You never really know what you get when you buy food from Walmart.
You are 100% correct there. There's actually some lawsuits going on about that. People are taking and freezing and unfreezing the meat they buy at the stores. It says 2 pounds. When they buy it, they freeze it and they defrost it, and it's like 3/4 of a pound. So,
Well, that's a big.
yeah, that's a big issue. So yeah, they're being sued. I don't know if it's just Walmart or just several meat market, or what do you call it? Butcheries? I don't know, whatever they are, in grocery stores worldwide.
Here's one of the things I've noticed. They make it tough to compare prices of one meat to another.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get like what is a pound? 16 ounces?
Yes.
You get 1 pound of beef in a container, but you get 20 ounces of chicken. And now you've got to do all kinds of high math to try to figure out what it is per ounce instead of per pound. So you can figure out which is more expensive and which, maybe the chicken's more expensive because it's a bigger volume, but per ounce, maybe buying 2 things of beef is actually saving you money.
Probably with the bird flu epidemic, it's probably right now that the chicken is higher. So
It's funny you say that.
yeah, it's true.
My parents, as you know, arrived yesterday evening.
Tell them I said hello.
And they'll be here for about 3 weeks. Well, Mom will be here for 3 weeks. Dad, maybe he'll leave with Mom. We don't know yet. But we were talking about the price of eggs, and that the dozen eggs that I purchased for us to have breakfast here was about almost $6.
Oh, that's cheap.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. I've seen them as much as 15. I think we just lost whatever ones leave at 1,300. That's cheap. But what I've also noticed, when you talk about beef versus chicken, the price of ground chicken didn't go up. I bought a thing, and obviously people on the radio can't see this, but probably a good 16, 18-inch long styrofoam tray of chicken breasts, boneless and skinless. Now, what does that mean? Some labor went into that, right? As opposed to just the chopped up and put in.
Mhm.
Boneless and skinless. I think I bagged individually for freezing 4 or 5 different breasts that were big titties. $12.
That's a good deal.
Yeah.
That's a good deal. Publix is taking care of you.
So no, that's still Walmart. Actually, no. That's I get my meat at Aldi. Actually, German place. I didn't know that, but they're German. So point being, if we've got this bird flu thing going on, why are the price of eggs going up, but not the price of chicken meat?
It's dependent upon which farm the bird flu is the information I have read. So in other words, I think that the period of time it takes to grow a chicken to produce eggs is longer than it takes to, with all the pumped up steroids and antibiotics and stuff they jab into the chicken, to grow to meat market size.
Yeah. I don't know.
So I'm not a butcher, but that's just what I've kind of gathered from my reading.
That another. We're cutting into your time now, so I'll let you go.
Yeah. You'll be pissed off at me with one of my articles, so
awesome. I'll listen,
and I'll send you the PDF afterwards so you can verify it. It is a government document.
I'll be doing the dance from my TV as I make lunch.
I still love you. You, even if you're wrong about some things. So,
was it the measles story or what? What do you got coming?
No, I sent you the measles story, but I also read an article yesterday about a policy initiative that changed at the border, and I have the actually directive from security on ways they can identify people entering our country. The actual document, if you're going to get to a representative of Homeland TSA, 6 of those include criminal warrants, criminal adjudications. I'll read it off to you. So in other words, we knowingly allowed criminals into the country when they hand them and go, oh, this is a warrant from wherever.
So it's funny you say that. When I started the show today, I was kind of rushed and late because I caught myself watching testimony that some guy was given a bunch of Republican congressmen. It looked like one of those town hall things. Remember when they did that in New York?
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of Republicans went to New York and held a congressional hearing in New York. That was just basically dog and pony show. And I think the Dems did it somewhere else too for another reason and whatever. It was one of those. It wasn't in the congressional hearing rooms that are on Capitol Hill. And it was some guy, like I said, I don't know who the other guy was, but of course, one of them was Danny Boy. And we're bouncing back and forth from immigration to the assassination in Butler, back to immigration. And this other guy is testifying about how one of the people that came across was a known Pakistani threat and part of Pakistani organized crime and was allowed into the country, not just from crossing crossing the border over the Rio Grande and actually risking something, but came in on, I won't say an airline, came in on a commercial flight into, I think they said Houston.
You do realize our country patriates people from all over the world constantly. There's flights daily from around the world. Sometimes they're increased by administrations, but
minutely.
Oh yeah. You can go that, and that's verifiable just by looking at FlightAware and following the planes.
Right.
That's not a big secret. Well, they don't come out and publicly say that, but they all do it.
There's a name, or there's a reason why the names of these airports have the word international in them.
Mm-hmm.
It's because they don't just fly next door.
Yeah. But I'm saying, no, our government contracts with private aviation, general aviation, and they bring people in and out of our country all the time, like plane loads.
You mean like for tourism, or what do you mean?
To repatriate them.
Well, I mean, this guy was a known terrorist, is what they were going with. And he came in, and when I say like known terrorist, I mean like an active threat against the country.
Oh yeah, he was a bad guy. Yeah, I know the story you're talking about. Yeah, and they let him in. Yeah,
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me. As much as it's not that I dislike Joe Biden. I disliked his policies. I cannot for the life of me figure out why you would knowingly do that. Well,
Yeah.
and I don't want to get into this conspiracy theory crap. Why, if you're an American, why would you want to do something to harm your fellow brother? I mean, I may disagree with you, but I still love you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I, Blake is one that says, like I'm constantly defending Joe Biden. I'm constantly defending Joe Biden because he's constantly cutting him up. And finally put an anti-Trump video out this week. But
he did?
Blake did, yeah.
I thought you said Biden did. Oh, okay.
No. Blake did on the homeless conservative. Finally put an anti-Trump video out instead of just, some blanket thing or whatever. But I can stop these timers now. Point being, I had a story actually that I was going to use that was anti-woke or whatever, but I'm just like, you know what? The right just keeps stepping on their dick. Why?
All politicians make it easy. That's why we've had late night monologues for years, going back to Carson or before Carson. That was before my time, but so yeah, that's why we got jobs. We're pundit. Well, I'm not a pundit. I talk about other stuff, but you got me political today. So
yeah. Well, I'll play you out here with some music so we can do the transition on Yergz Radio. Check out Sportcat on Yergz Radio by going to yergzradio.com or watch his video that he's probably already or about to start by going to YouTube at Para or Normal Guys.
Yep. And, search out the Sportcat shows. You can find me there too. So it's the same thing on YouTube, but yeah.
All right, man. Good luck with the show.
All right, brother. I will see you tomorrow.
Yep. Love you too. I'll play the music here and you can pick up Yergz Radio in a second. All right, gang. We're off with the radio, and we're off here. Thanks for joining. Thanks for going up the middle. Thanks for getting off the porch and running with the big dogs. We'll see you tomorrow.